Why am I not able to do that? I played the game for 12 years. I watch almost every major region's important games, and it's crazy. Like, how can I play the game for so long and I should know the answer, but in the moments, I just like didn't know the answer.
So you've had, what, 12, 11 of these like postseason kind of conversations as there's a game that ends this season, right?
Yeah.
Every season there's always one. You just did a pretty, I think, fair, but like also like critical interview with Mark about your performance and how the year went. I kind of just want to get your thoughts on how you feel right now at the end of this journey.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the same thing that I said to Mark, which was sometimes my teammates ask, what should we do next? Which is a very, very normal thing to ask to get the team to, either vote or for someone to decide. And I don't know why, but I just like, sometimes I just don't know. I have an idea, but I'm not that confident in it, so I don't really want to be the guy to lay out the plan. But not out of like low confidence, but just out of like, I just don't have the clarity. Like I don't understand every piece of information. You know how like chess players, they talk about how they like see the board in their sleep and stuff. They can like play the game in their head. I think kind of the same way for people who are like very great in League. Like you're able to just kind of like have like a game going on in your head, like a visualized play, or like, oh, like this is what will happen. We do this, they react with this, almost like a flow chart of what you should do. And I used to have it, and now I like don't as much. I still have it sometimes, and I think we did an interview in the middle of the season where we started playing better, and we were very decisive. There was a few 50-50 barons, but realistically like 90-10 barons and stuff, and like I was feeling like so in control.
Yeah, you said you were the leader of the team.
Yeah,
you were learning how to become the leader.
Yeah, in those games I was, but it didn't mean like anything in the end. Like that's it. I don't know. I think like let me take a step back here for a second. When the team loses to another team, it's typically not because, almost never is it because there was a humongous gap in like player skill between, any position, right? Like that can be so easily overcome. Like for example, like a 15 CS lead in lane is like, whoa, I'm so ahead, like 300 gold, but that can be so easily overcome by one fight, by one dive, by one play that gives you one plate. And then all of those like small mechanical discrepancies or like lane matchup knowledge, like all these things could just be erased because your team just played better than them. Even just like securing like a scuttle crab through with like good timing, like good vision control, etc. There's so many like aspects of the game, but basically what it comes down to is like team play matters infinitely more than you being like a little bit better or even drastically better than your opponents. So yeah, I mean, why we lost, right? Team Liquid is a better team, and YTL lost to Energy. Energy's a better team, and ultimately why the team wins LCS. They're a better team. So it's very like interesting to me because we spend like all day, every day, kind of hyper-focused. I think every LCS team does this. We all spend all day, every day focused on how we can best shit on our lane and mechanically play team fights better and essentially be more useful and have more pressure than our opponents throughout the game. But like what my team probably should have focused on a little bit more is like, what do we do in all these different situations that are like commonly coming up? So for example, like I can think of like many times against Team Liquid, we are contesting mid, one person on the enemy team is missing, that guy is obviously looking for a flank, and we get shepherded into the guy who's flanking us. In the last game it was Jax, in another game it was Fiora. There's like many times where these things happen, and it's like, if a single player on our team was able to make the right call in that moment, we would just win. We would just outplay them. We have the answer, like we would know the answer and then do it, but we didn't. And anyways, that's a very long-winded way of just saying like, man, our team could have been so great because I think our players are good, but our team play was always our weakest point, I think, the split.
Yeah, I know exactly which play it was because I was watching the stands and it was Jax came from the bottom side of the map.
He's so far from his teammates.
He was so far. It was a very, very far away TV.
We know how far away he is. So why do we allow, let's just say we're getting sandwiched. Why do we walk into the side of the bottom bread that is so far away? Why don't we just take the fight up, away from the guy, and then that person will infinitely be running after us as we push forward and more, and he will never regain the distance. Like, it's so obvious what we should do when we're in that situation, but we just, I don't know, it's a combination of like pressure and also just like lack of clarity on what we should do. And anyways, the original question was like reflecting on the year, and I told you, like, I talked to Mark about this on the interview, like, why am I not able to do that? I played the game for 12 years. I watch almost every major region's important games, and it's crazy. Like, how can I play the game for so long and I should know the answer, but in the moments I just like didn't know the answer. And it's particularly embarrassing because, like, basically as an older player, right, people expect that, like, well, there's like upside and downside. Like, the upside is that you're going to have like way more game knowledge and way more sort of like communication skills, leadership skills than everyone else. And yeah, I think I let my teammates down quite hard in that area.
The question was, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Boom. End the interview right now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Diving into that more, you say like you have clarity up to a point and then it gets foggy or whatever. What is the clarity up to the point? What is the clarity that you did have? Like, you're like, okay, I know all of this, right? For example, in this game or this series, like moments where you're like, 100% this is what we should do. And then later on, I think you gave one example. Give another example of like, I don't know what we're supposed to do, and in this hesitation, maybe something happened. Yeah,
I mean, in your hesitation, when you aren't actively doing something, the enemy team is forcing you to do what they want. When you see two great teams, basically, it's kind of like this very back and forth of like, you give a little, then you take something. Like, you give and you take. And I'd say, like, maybe from the perspective of the community, I don't know, like, obviously, because I'm not like scouring Reddit or Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
But like, we just do nothing. Like, we do nothing, and we are constantly reacting to what the enemy team is doing. Why is that? Because we could not like out-strategize whoever on Team Liquid is like making the strategy, basically, right? Like, because like they do something first, or they do something unexpected, and we're like, we don't know how to react, and that creates pressure. And then we have to go catch a wave, or we have to go clear a ward, and then that is exactly how the enemy team gets us to start playing into like their loop, like what they want us to do, and how like they start being very comfortable. And I don't think we ever got to the point where we were constantly making the enemy team uncomfortable. Playing our tempo, basically, right? Like being the team that pressures the enemy team. We had a game, actually. We had one game.
Yeah.
Crazy thing happened at level 1. I got super fed, and the enemy team basically just didn't do anything. They just kind of rolled over and lost. And then 3 games, I think it was kind of the opposite. And yeah, God, League, dude, it's too hard. It's always changing, but that's why it's fun, I think. That's why it's good. That's why it's a great esport or competitive game, because every year everyone gets better and the game changes, so it's fun.
So I think you pointed out where you felt a little deficient, which was some of the upside that you're supposed to feel in terms of like game knowledge or these calls here. Mm-hmm. When you look back at the year, where are areas that you felt very proud of? Like areas where you're like, damn, like I feel good about this. Because last split, I remember you were knocking the rust off. There was actual nerves that you said. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, okay, no, I belong. For now that you look at the whole year, what is something that you're like, I'm glad I did this, I'm proud of this work?
I think, I don't know, I guess I'm proud of my individual play. Like, that's like honestly, one of 2 important aspects of being a pro player. And I think I played solid. I didn't think I did amazing, but I think there was no AD carries in the league that made me feel bad, like made me feel scared, or that I felt like I couldn't just overcome. In fact, there were like many AD carries where I was like, wow, this is gonna be like pretty easy to win. So I don't know. But what I will say though is that the AD carries right now are pretty good. Like I think AD carry is a strong role in LCS, kind of up there with jungle. So at the moment, yeah, that's what I'm proud of. But I can't. I don't have a better answer than that, I guess.
No, that's fine. Are you proud of the decision to come back? Not proud isn't the right word, but
happy.
Are you happy with the decision of coming back, given the fact that you were in retirement heaven? You were getting paid to do the streams. You got to say whatever you want. You still got to play if you wanted to, and you had all the free time. Does that sound like, are you happy with that decision?
Of course I'm happy. Like, I'm not happy with the result, but I would choose it again without hesitating, because when I streamed, I loved it, but there was something missing. Like, there was like the will to do something greater. Like, what is the greatest thing a streamer can do? Grow their number, like improve their number. Obviously, you can have a solid, no growth, but like you can have like a month where you feel like you did great streams, you connected with the community, you were really funny, you were really on it, you had a great attitude, you never missed a day that you stuck to your schedule, and then that's great. It's kind of just like a great routine. But how do you like stack that level of accomplishment up with being a pro player? Like, being a pro player, you can positively influence the people around you and help them reach their dreams of winning LCS, or of this is like a couple of my teammates quit in Buzio. It's their first year playing in LCS, first year playing in a major league, like to be a part of that journey, and potentially to win and to go to Worlds and to compete against the best. It's just like if I can do it, then I'll do it, because it's like so great to be able to, like, I'm very privileged to be able to choose between either of them. I think a lot of pro players in LCS don't get to stream. Like, they just don't have the ability to turn it on and like make a career out of it. But I'm very lucky, because I got in really early on streaming. And then, as a streamer, how many streamers have the choice of playing in a professional league? Like, not many. So I had to try it. But I never wanted to stop playing LCS, actually. Not even gonna the time on DSM, right? Like, I wanted to keep playing, but I couldn't. And playing LCS is very fulfilling. But I thought I would feel more spiteful about it after losing, now that I'm in the off season, right? But I just feel annoyed at myself, and then I want to do better next year. It's like I just feel so, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, determined. I feel very determined to come back next year stronger and to, prove something good.
Yeah, and of course, this is less about all streamers, what is their impact, and more about what is your impact as a streamer compared to being a pro player, because, again, as you said, you have the privilege to do it, you have to do both, you have the ability to do both. And so I just wanted to caveat there.
I think there are many streamers that have a great impact on the world. That's not me. Like, I don't really like to talk about or like influence younger generation, or like when I stream, right, I'm very in this bubble of like the League community and of co-streaming League and hanging out with League people. Even when I do podcasts, there are people from like the League community. And like I know who watches me and who cares about my stream and my YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I'm just saying, when I stream, it doesn't feel like there is like this great purpose compared to the other option that I have, which is I think playing LCS, like, despite all the negativity and stuff about LCS sometimes, it's like, it's so cool. It is so, it's so special. It's not easy to replace.
So you said it a couple times, but let's just get it out in very clear terms. Doublelift will be playing in 2024?
I mean, I hope so.
But if it was his choice?
If it was my choice, yes, I would.
Okay.
I would. I would love to come back next year stronger than this year. It's just like so many things to think about. Strange that I wasn't able to reflect on these before the match. You know, I had to lose, and then now I have so many thoughts.
Yeah.
But yesterday, if you ask me about how my year is going, no thoughts. I'm fully focused on like this match. But then afterwards, it's like a valve got released, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's strange. I think that's the type of focus that is expected from a player like you, where it's just like it's all about winning. It's about this game.
Yeah.
You know, not even whoever's gonna win out of UG and Cloud9. Finally, just kind of put into words this year with your teammates, what you thought about the team and the management. Going into it, like what would your messages be for everyone? Because as we all know, at the end of a season, generally there's turnover, people change or whatever. How would you encapsulate, your interactions with the teams?
I think like I have very good experiences with all my teammates. Like I think everyone was trying so hard the whole year. It was definitely not from a lack of effort that we weren't able to like reach our potential. I think it was like a lot of things, but
sure,
definitely not effort. I really appreciate that everyone around me was always doing everything they could to be a better player. And I mean, our results weren't good, but I really appreciate the time that I spent with everybody. Even playing with like Buzio and Quid's first year, I think they show that they belong, in my opinion. Like, I think they have so much skill, and your first year, maybe there will be times here and there where like the nerves will hit, and it's just expected. It's normal, but I think they've slowly overcome that, and they've become like their own type of player. I would say like every one of my teammates from top to bottom, their attitude was great.
Yeah,
the attitude was great. Like kind of like every check mark for like a green flag of a pro player, I'd say my teammates, they have those. And so, whether we play together again next year or not, like I think they have great futures, all of them.
And then finally to all the supporters of Doublelift, 100 Thieves fans that have followed you from, half the league now, almost half the league now. What do you have to say to them for your, 13th, 12th year in the LCS? 11th year?
Well, LCS only started in season 3, so it has to be 10, right?
10,
or
10 and 9?
I don't know.
9?
I don't know.
Yeah.
One of those.
You took too many vacations.
I did. No, I took 2 years off. That's true. That's okay. The math is too hard, but no, to all my fans, like I really appreciate that you guys tune into our games. I mean, I know that most of the time, summer split, we're just losing, and the way we're losing is crazy. Like we're just getting shit on. So probably wasn't the most fun, but yeah, I will always appreciate my fans who would tune in. Like without viewers, without fans and interest, none of us have a job. Like LCS doesn't exist. So I will, always be super grateful for you guys for your support and positive words and like hype up. It really means a lot. And if you're wondering, is this it? I really hope not. I'm gonna try my best to make it. This is not it. Like I want to come back next year stronger, and this year, like a lot of things negative, but I think I could, I can confidently say like my play is, I can be the best in my role. That's all. Like I can definitely be the best in my role, and that gives me a lot of confidence for next year.
Sure. I know I said it was the last one, but this is the actual last one. Now that you're done with another season, give me one of your favorite stories playing League. I feel like I've asked you this before. I have asked you this before, but
my
maybe
favorite story is playing League.
Yeah.
Like it has to be a League-related story?
No, but I mean, just it has to be a career-related story, or like maybe you met someone because of your career. So you can tell me any story, honestly.
Any story.
Any story that that
I have so.
I know, dude.
I know. Like,
do you want me to ask more specific?
No.
I can ask more.
I'll give you. Let me think about this.
I love this because I can ask this question forever.
I know. You can ask this. You can ask this forever, bro. Like, okay, this one's not like a story. A story, dude. I don't have a story off the top of my head. I have like good memories.
Sure.
Okay, good memories.
That ends up being a good story.
Okay, not the best story. Just a random good memory. When I was on TSM season 6, it was the Hanser, Biofrost, Bjergsen, Svenskeren roster. You know, the season 6 TSM one.
Is this Vancouver
and Dark
Finals?
Souls? No, it has nothing to do.
Okay.
Dark Souls 3 just came out. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Dark Souls 3 just came out, and dude, like. Me, Hanser, and Bjergsen were spamming that game so fucking hard. And like, it was just too funny because we would start like making fun of each other when we were stuck on a boss. And I think Hanser was stuck on the last boss, the Soul of Cinder, for like 3 days. And he was just progressively getting more and more agitated. Because like, you know, scrims would end, we have some time, and he would just be playing, and he would just get more and more annoyed. And it was just like funny, like the whole experience was just like really funny to play Dark Souls. It's a single player game. We're all just like playing our own thing, and then like when we want to take a break from being frustrated ourselves, we'll just go and like troll each other like behind their PC while they're playing. Yeah, those were good times. Like we were like super degenerate gamers then, and I'll always remember like it was just a good time.
One would argue that pro players are still super degenerate gamers.
That's true. That's true. We usually
They're just
all
a little
are.
more focused.
Yeah.
Peter, it's been great getting to chat with you this year, and you know, again, watching even that game 4, just watching you guys go head to head and see you still dominate the lane, get the leads as we've seen you do year over year. And I've appreciated all the interviews and the stories that you've given me. So thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we'll see you again next split in the LCS, and yeah, best of luck, brother.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of Digon Esports. And you know, it hasn't always been easy getting my thrills since I'm a one-man band doing everything here. So to get my thrills, I get them from Trolli gummy worms. You know, they want nothing more than for you to bite into their delicious, sour heads and bodies into pieces. Personally, I like the raspberry blueberry flavor. It's really good. You should go ahead and get your own. Check it out. And get the mind-warping, tongue-twisting sour thrills only at Trolli.com.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, man.
Wow. And you're not even going to give me any Trolli sour bright,
No, not on losses, man. Not on losses.